me moving the mic. There was an earthquake. No, just moving the mic. To another episode called "What is Your Truth?" or "What's Your Reality?" What is your truth? What is your reality? Tell me. I'll listen. It's going to be half an hour of me listening. I'm a good listener. No, I'm not that good of a listener. I need to talk. But when we're in person, I could listen. Just when I'm supposed to be recording a podcast, I'm not a good listener. No, but what is your truth? Right now, what is your reality? What's your truth? Take out a paper and a pen. Write it down. What do you mean, Mike? What do you believe is right now your reality? What are you living in? Are you living in a positive reality, negative reality, sad reality, lonely reality? Are we in a conspiracy reality? Are we in what's your truth? Because, I use that word conspiracy, but I mean, truth. What is your reality? What is your truth? Because if you believe it is real to you, you'll bring to pass all that reality. So what is your truth? Right now, it seems like the way of the world, the truth of the world right now, when like I don't know what you call it, mainstream truth, mainstream media is everybody's hating everybody. Everybody's pissing everybody off. Everybody's just, trying to find somebody to blame for something. Everybody's just hating. You know what the key to success is? The key to ending everything, all wars, all hate, all everything, just love. Just like the song says, what does love have to do with it? Everything is how it has to do with love. See, it depends. The more information I receive from my higher self, or as I'm learning things and my mind is opening and my reality is changing to what is more real for me, could be different for you, but I see more and more patterns and everything. And I could see, like, as an outsider, like, oh, wait, I see this. I see how this is working. But when you're in the box, you're like, oh, everything in this box is amazing. But what is your reality? What is your truth? So write down right now what you believe. Whatever you want. We're not here to argue with anybody. We're not here to tell anything. Just this is a safe space. Write down in your book or on a paper that you have right now, or think about it, or pretend in your mind that if you're driving, that you're sitting down, writing down whatever your truth is, what your reality is, what your beliefs are. Right? Big one. Do you believe the earth is flat or round? Or is it a bagel? Are we in the back of a monkey going through space? Right? What is it? There's no silly answer, because that's your reality. Do you believe, you need to drink your coffee every morning? Do you believe you don't need to drink your whatever? Do you believe in law of attraction? Or are you just listening to this to see how crazy I get? But what do you believe? Because it doesn't matter if you believe what I say. It only matters what you believe to be truth for you. But here's the key. As you receive truth and things that are contradicting your current truth or your current reality, and you're like, wait a minute, this is where I believe now. Or the old version of me believes this. But now it seems that this is true. But it contradicts each other. Well, it's up to you to find out what it is. And if you say, well, this is better, this is the new me, well, step into the new you. And your mind will be open even more to the next part. See, life is what you make it, right? Life is whatever it is. Life is a movie. Life can be we're down here to have an experience, learn, and go through life and learn how to co-create or learn how to do whatever. But why are you here? Why are you on this earth, going around in space or underwater, whatever you believe the earth is, right? See, I grew up in a religious household. I always told myself I'll never talk about, my religious upbringing, but I was brought up in a religious household, Christianity, a specific religion. And my reality at that time was like, we don't, drink alcohol. And, kind of, when you look at people, you're like, oh, they're drinking poison and you kind of judge people. I thought I was very judgmental when I was younger, growing up. I'm not saying all people in religion are. People in religion are amazing people. Everybody's amazing. It doesn't matter what your journey's taking you, but my journey took me through religion, and as an adult, it took me out. And I don't want to get into specific things, but maybe one day we will. One day we'll do lives. I don't know. We'll talk about specifics, but my journey shifted to where everything's been better. Where, for me, if I stayed where I was, I don't think I would be as far in my journey. I'll still be spinning around or doing whatever, but that's just for me, because you got to do your journey your way. Doesn't matter. You can't copy my journey. You can't copy the exact same way that I set up my company and be just as successful. It will be impossible for you to be just as successful, even more successful or anything. If I tell you exactly how I did everything, you're going to have to do things your way. You're going to have to go through your journey. And I'm grateful that I grew up the way I did in my current reality, my current state. I learned a lot about loving and how you should love everybody. And I learned a lot about law of attraction, actually. And I learned a lot about a lot of stuff. But my reality journey took me through a different path and a different area. But in the end, we're all down here, and we all are going through our journey through this amazing world. And what are we going to do with it? Are we going to, stick with the journey that we started and not progress? I was always like, I need to progress, I need to progress, I need to progress, I need to move forward, I need to move. Which could be a good thing. But I know now that if I was to more just be happy in the moment and just enjoy everything that you're doing and so on, our life would be so much easier and better. I used to learn things the hard way, but now I learn things the easy way, because I'm just going to allow to listen to my gut, my higher self, or, whatever you want to call it, God or Mother Earth. I don't care, whatever you call it. But just call it whatever you want in your reality, and allow it to work through you and flow through you and help you achieve your ultimate goals. Only you know what your end goals are. I know what I want. And my current thing is I want to create life changers as a community. That's my new reality. That's my new belief system, is I'm focusing less on, growing, pushing all my companies and no, I just let the universe take care of that. I don't really care. I care, but I just feel like I'm putting more energy into life changers because that's going to be what I want. And I always wanted to help people. So this is a way for me to help people, is by telling people my journey, my thing, and helping them through their journey. And yes, if anybody reaches out to us and asks me about business and stuff and all that and advice, I'm more than happy to give advice and talk about it, make a podcast out of it. If anybody wants to come on their show and tell their story, I'm more than happy to, talk to you and see if it's a fit for us. And if we could help you through your journey, and in turn, we come on the podcast and helps our podcast grow and grow our community. But you really got to know who you are, what your beliefs are, what you believe is in your reality right now. I talked about a few times that some people I come into contact with and that seem to be interested, and they ask me all these questions about like, hey, what are you learning? You change? You're really different. I feel a different energy coming from you. I feel more this and, that. And I tell them all the blah, 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 right? I'm learning. First, I broke the habit of who I was, broke the habit of being myself by Dr. Joe Dispenza. And then I learned another book called The Surrender Experiment. And then I read another book and another book and another book. And I realized what I wanted and how I was spinning my tires and where I was and how I needed to, this is what I wanted. And I started learning and started diving into my new reality, which I never thought would be. You hear me say it a few times that when I was younger, people would tell me, hey man, just relax. You just need to meditate, calm down. I'm like, dirty hippie. Right? Yeah, you guys just don't want to do anything with your life, right? Just going to sit there meditating. That's the way I used to think, but that's not my reality now. I know for me, for a fact, about when I meditate, it changes my energy. It changes the flow of things. And that I could literally change my reality and change a lot of things around me. All through energy. People that know me before, if they know me now, I'm a totally different person. You know, my parents, when I, parted way, I don't see, that's the thing. Like, I don't like talking about like how I left religion and all that, because it's not like I left it because it was a bad thing. I left it because that's where my journey was taken to me. That's is where I believe at the time, like where God was taking me. People are like, oh, right? He'll never take you away from church. Well, mine did. The one that I grew up with, right? In my reality. And my journey in my life has been so much better since I focused on this new journey. And I don't know where I'll end up. I'm just trusting the process, trusting the flow. I'm surrendering. I'll let the universe, the spirit of the earth, or my higher self, my gut, or, God, tell me where to go. I give up. And I'm not in a bad way. In my current reality, giving up is not a bad thing. It's more surrendering, trusting the process, trusting the flow. And as things come to you, that you run with it. And that's what I'm doing. And I'm not shying away from new information that's coming my way. I'm not going to be like, oh, just going to accept it and let it flow through me and see if it resonates with me or not. I'm going to give everything a shot. So, did you write down your list of what your current reality is and what your current new reality is going to be, what you want? And that you'll see as you learn and as you're progressing and as your mind is changing and as you're opening up more into the law of attraction, or, all this stuff and how the world works and the energy factors and all that. I never thought that I would go get acupuncture, or I'll go get Reiki, or anything like that, right? Or sound bowl healings. I never thought I'll do anything like that. I thought I was all just weird. But my new reality, my current self, is understanding and knows how important it is. How you need to love yourself. Appreciate everything that's around you. Just love everything. It's funny. I know I mentioned it before, but as my eyes are more opening more and more to the reality and of the world and my current reality, anyways, everything just seems so much more beautiful. When I'm out, like, just, wow, the sunset's amazing. I'm just appreciating everything more and just loving life and just loving everything and how amazing that feels. I don't feel restricted. I don't feel anything. It's just, wow, just love everything and whatever. And things that I don't, agree with, or things I don't want to hear, I just don't listen to it. If you find that, like, whoa, Mike, I wish I had that kind of energy. Step 1, turn off the damn TV. Don't watch the news. Well, I need to be informed. Well, I just find that if I watch the news, it's all doom and gloom, and what sells is like, oh no, this person today got, a big shooting in Toronto. This happened over here. Somebody got hit by here. Oh, snow, 5-car pileup. That's what news. In our reality right now, that's what news is. They're not telling you like, oh, hey, fire truck went and saved a kitten from a tree today. Or this person saved all these animals from this today. No, because that's not touchy-feely, touchy-good stories is not what makes money in this reality. It's all doom and gloom. It's all hate. At least that's what I see, right? Things that make money in this reality on TV is a lot of drama. How many times have you watched a good show? You're like, this is a good show. This has a good storyline to it. And then within either half a season or the next season, you just see it turn into drama and all this like, oh. Well, because that's what sells. Because that's what more people want to hear, more consuming, which is exciting. Don't get me wrong, right? And drama is so exciting. Hey, did you hear? Right? This and this and that and this. Oh, so crazy, man. This drama. How exciting that could be. And yeah, I used to be that way. I used to be like, oh, that is exciting. I get a rush from drama. Right? But now the new me is like, meh. I don't want things that bring me down. I don't want drama. I just want everybody to be happy and let people live. Let people just do what they want and just love. Stop all this hate. Stop all this drama. Stop all this gossip or backbiting or all this stuff that's going on. Just put out love. I love you. Just love. When you just have love in your heart all the time, then you start attracting other people that have love in their hearts. And this world seems not so bad. It's amazing. When I see these TikToks or these YouTubes or these people that are posting like, hey, look how beautiful the world is. Like I went and did walk today and I saw this amazing snow falling. Instead of being like, oh, it's snowing, it's crazy, it's cold, and I got, right? Just be positive. Be happy. Right? Don't worry, be happy. Like that old song from the 80s and 90s. Is it Bob Marley that sings that? We should Google it, but if it isn't.
Bobby McFerrin.
Is it Bobby McFerrin?
Yeah.
Oh, it was a good song. You just gotta don't worry and be happy. Just love life. Stop getting into the, if you don't, but hey, don't get me wrong. If you enjoy watching Young and the Restless and all the drama of the world and listening to all the mainstream stuff, sure, do your thing. Be you. Be happy. Who am I to tell you, right? I'm just telling you what I experienced, what I'm changing in my life to make me happy. And I'm just putting out what I'm learning. And I want you to be happy. I don't want you to hate everybody and just start trolling the internet because you just hate yourself and you hate the world and you're just going to make sure everybody's angry and hates with you. Just do you. But if you're a hater, well, don't come around me because I'm peace and love, man. The energy and the vibes I put out is trust, love, compassion, understanding, and that if somebody just needs to talk, that's the energy I want to put out. Because I want to be able to help people and let people be them. So, back to the thing at hand, though, is what is your current belief system, your reality? And now, look at what you want. Then things will have to change. Believe it or not, we are all programmed. And it's, even when we watch TV or when you listen to songs or whatever you are into, programs you subconsciously. So if you want to change something about your programming, well, you have to change that part of your programming. I understand where it comes from. It's kind of like, sometimes I tell people, I just don't understand how my mind goes to a dark place sometimes, let's say I can't reach my wife. I call her. She doesn't answer her cell phone. I call the other phone, the work phone. I call this phone, that, or I'm texting or messaging. Then my mind starts going all nuts and crazy and doom and gloom and and I just get all worked up. I'm like, oh man. But why? Why does my mind go like that? Well, I believe it's my old programming going, hey, you must have been a scared kid when you were younger. You were programmed to be scared or stuff. I could see why, because when I was younger, we moved from the city, big hustle and bustle city in Laval, Quebec, right next to Montreal, Quebec. And then I moved to Saint Polycarp, Quebec. Middle of nowhere. We had a country, neighbors, 1 kilometer, 2 kilometers each side of us. You're all alone. All alone. I'm scared in the dark. But yeah, when I was a kid, yeah, I'd come home from school. Sometimes my teenagers, my brothers and sisters that are older than me were like, meh, you're going to stay out late at school, take the late bus, because in high school there's late buses. And then I got home early. My parents were both working. Nobody's home but me. And then it gets dark. And then now I'm looking out the window in the middle of nowhere. And I'm just like scaring myself. Imagine a whole wall is your window. That's how big this window is. And I looked out into the darkness, just black. And I used to be scared. I was like, oh, what's out there? Monsters, right? You hear anything? Oh. And I used to, put a blanket over my head and think that's okay. The monster can't kill me. We all done it. We all have done it. If you say, no, I've never done that, yeah, you're lying to yourself. Right? And your mind just goes crazy. All right? Until you realize, like, oh, hey, I'm completely safe. There's no monsters. Unless you believe in monsters, then there's monsters. But it's all about, my belief system back then. It's like, going from a city where it's always busy and there's always people, always felt safe, to the middle of nowhere where it's just you. And now I'm like, oh. But yet, take somebody who's lived like that their whole life, where they're lived in the middle of nowhere, put them in the city, and now they're going to be scared and uncomfortable because they're like, oh, doom and gloom, right? Because they're out of their comfort zone. So if you want to make significant changes to your programming, you have to get out of your comfort zone. Oh. And I don't mean to be a downer in my podcasts, but this is the reality of things. If you want to make real change in your life and change your programming 100% and get into the new you, and if you're like, yeah, I hate being negative, or I hate being a hater, I hate what this, double-edged sword, right? I hate hating. Oh, the world is fun. It's an oxymoron to hate hating. I'm going to say it is. I learned that word when I was younger, and I thought it was cool. Oxymoron. You call me a moron? No. I digress. But you have to know that you're going to get uncomfortable when you're changing. But it's a process. And as you reprogram yourself into your new reality, you're going to be like, wow. And right now you're probably thinking, oh, no, I'm never going to change. No, right? That's good for you. I used to think the same thing. Here's something that somebody told me. And if you could think about this and actually understand this, oh, how your world will change. Take a circle. See an imaginary circle. Draw an imaginary circle. Cut that circle in half. Okay? And then on the top half, you cut that in half. So now you got one big full half and then 2 quarters on top. I'm just got to think of my math. You got the pie, you cut it in half, you got a half and 2 quarters. And if you cut the other half, then you got 4 quarters. That makes a whole. Okay, anyways. So yes, you got the half on the bottom and then you have the 2 quarters on top. Left quarter is, I know this is what I know. Other quarter, this is the stuff I know that I don't know. The other half, this is all the stuff you don't even know. Mind blowing. Hi, welcome to an episode of Mind Blowing. No, but your mind just went boom, right? But if you could truly, and you're like, oh, I understand it. I used to think I did when I learned that when I was a teenager, when somebody taught me that. But more and more as I'm learning about it and thinking about it, and as I come to understand it, is, well, yeah, there's a lot more that we don't even know. And as our reality shifts, as we get older, as we're seeking information, and as we're making changes in our lives, now we're starting to learn things. And now everything's changing. And now your pie is shifting. Or pizza. I like pizza. I prefer pizza than pie. But I digress. So, yes, you're going to be uncomfortable. Yes, your body and mind is going to try to drag you back into what your old programming is. Constantly. Yes, you are amazing. And it's going to be hard. But when you could do it and get all the tools that work for you to help you to achieve this, it's going to be amazing. So if you want to shift your life from, you know, as Pitbull say, a negative to a positive. It's a good song, but just do it. But you got to know that, yeah, there's going to be low times, but there's going to be a lot more high times, a lot more good times. And as you're learning and as you're programming, as you're doing things, and as you're understanding and as your mind just opens up and as your reality and your beliefs are changing and shifting as you go through this amazing world, that you'll look back and notice and be like, oh, I get what Mike was talking about in that episode. You might not get it right now, but just know that it doesn't matter what you believe, where you are in life. I want you to be successful. And if you're like, hey, Mike, I'm 100% successful, I'm satisfied where I am, cool. That's good. That's amazing. Keep it up. And just live in the moment and be there for yourself. And just when things come your way and you have, intuition kicking in and all this, you're like, oh, look, I could do this, and all this information coming into you, just download it. As Dr. Joe said, receive the download. Receive the download and run with it. Don't miss out. Don't set yourself back a decade. Don't set yourself back 5 years, 2 years, 1 year, months. Don't set yourself back at all. Just take the download and be like, okay, and learn and understand and filter out what you want or what you don't want in your current belief system. And then as it shifts, it goes on and it grows. All I want is world peace. All I want is everybody to be happy, to know that you could achieve anything, to know that you can do anything in the world that you desire. It doesn't have to be exactly what I tell you to do. It doesn't matter. Just do what you want to do, what you desire. And be happy and have love. Do everything with love, compassion. Oh, your world will be amazing. And I try to do it. Yeah, sometimes I get angry. Sometimes I'm yelling. Sometimes, like I said in my other episodes, people are going to cut me off in traffic and piss me off. And some people are going to give me the finger and yell at me and whatever. But it's the choice you make after. Are you going to be angry? Going to be quick to go? Like even when I was younger and go hang out, go pick up, because I didn't drink alcohol when I was younger. So all my friends were like, hey, you're the DD, designated driver, buddy. Yeah, come to the party. You can drive me home. And then how I see people just pissed off and angry. Somebody says something while they're walking by and, oh, sorry, man, I didn't mean to hit you or whatever. I want to go. And everybody's just flipping out. And I see it in movies and TV shows. There's a lot of amazing TV shows I watch, and I'm like, oh, this is crap. People are over-exaggerated. People are always hating and quick to judge, and all. Like, that's not reality. But the more you watch those things, the more you're embracing that stuff, that is going to be your reality. You're going to reap what you sow. You are what you see, what you think, and that's what you are. So your beliefs are who you are. So if you want to shift into a different dimension, different reality, different world, if you want to shift from believing you're supposed to be poor and believing that only the 1% are successful, no, everybody. I see all these amazing creators out there who are all making a lot of money and all successful. And if they believed, well, no, I'm not allowed to be successful because now it's 2% instead of 1%, I'm not allowed, then they won't be. Just everybody in this world can be successful. You just got to choose to step up and do it. Stop thinking negative. Stop pulling yourself down. Know that you are loved. You are appreciated. That you could do anything. That the only thing stopping you from anything is you. And you limiting yourself by believing, well, I can't achieve that. And if you need help, well, listen to my podcast. No. And also, an amazing book. I said it many times, Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself by Dr. Joe Dispenza. If you're in a situation that you don't like, if you don't like what you're believing or where you are and all this negative stuff or whatever is going on in your life, Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself. I had to listen to that book in order for me to actually be successful. I've had my companies for many years. I had it when I was younger and before I read the book, years before I read the book. But yet I always found myself in the same situations, just looping around. Because I believe, my programming, taught me, money is bad and that rich people are stupid. So you don't want to be rich because you love people, right? You're happy, right? Because that's how it's portrayed a lot. in TV shows and movies that all the rich people are crazy and doing stupid things, but it's not reality unless you want it to be, unless you believe that. And I used to believe that. My dad would tell me rich people stay rich because, they're cheap, or rich people stay rich because they feed off us poor people and we keep them rich because we're doing this and that. Well, no, you could break that. I broke the habit of being poor. I broke that by reading that book, changing the way I was programmed, and by deciding this is what I want. But yes, I keep on constantly fighting with myself because it keeps on looping around, and I'm like, no, I know, and I'm locked into the vibration of money. And money's not a bad thing. I don't choose money to be an evil thing or a bad thing. I don't choose to be like, rich people are stupid. No, I choose that rich people can do an amazing thing with their money. I've seen many people doing it. I've seen people like Mr. Beast and other people just giving money away and doing good with their money. And that's exactly what we're going to do. So remember that you are amazing. You can do anything you want. Just don't limit yourself. Believe that you can achieve anything you want. Change your programming. Change the way you were programmed. That's all I could say. There's nothing else I could say about that. And just know, yes, every day, it takes one day at a time. Like I say all the time, yes, you are a work in progress. Take it one day at a time. I'm a work in progress. You're a work in progress. We're constantly working in progress. But remember, you got to show up for yourself. Be there for you and invest in you. And I'll talk more about that in another episode. So thank you very much. I appreciate all of you. I don't mean to be doom and gloom today, but just sometimes things need to be said. I love everybody. And if you want to reach out to us, if you have any comments or any concerns or anything you want us to talk about or anything like that, please reach out to us. You can write us at lifechangersmike@gmail.com. I appreciate everybody. Thank you very much. I love you. Have a good day.